Hey everyone, happy Synthetic Friday. Sorry about the stream starting a little late, folks. APT knocked me out. And then my wife had to come wake me up. She's like, hey, you're late to start streaming. I had to get a sock alert. Oh, video's on. There we go. Awesome. Cool. I hope everyone had a fantastic Thursday. I think tomorrow we can go stuff with the kiddos. So I'm looking forward to that. Now, bear with me because I'm still waking up. Like I said, APT knocked me out cold. Let me check a couple things because my windows were all kinds of funky. Got in. I woke up. Oh, that was a good thing in doctor. That's what I was doing. That was this video. I was actually looking for something I wanted to change up in the stream overlay, and so this is a video of Night Team 4. And so I was thinking of trying to make the stream overlay look kind of like what this looks like. So this interface looks pretty slick. I kind of like it. I'm going to try and duplicate it. Close that out. Man, I might be moving a little slow tonight. My wrist is all kinds of messed up. I heard it yesterday exercising. Don't remember. Well, then I tried to exercise again today, and then it did not like that. So it is absolutely beat down. Let's see, there's power split. So what we were going to try and figure out tonight is how we can get some of those pre-built binaries that we wanted to use. I think what we might need to do is go modify our lab environment. Blow away Commando, because Commando is not operational, and just do a very basic Windows 10 install. No image for the Commando VM? Is that what you're asking, Roman? Fine. So the problem we've got here is, in our lab environment, it's shut down right now, but this Commando VM is fairly untested, and typically it was actually meant to work with like a Windows 10 setup. This one's a Windows 11. I'm trying to use a lot of Windows 11 in the lab so I can get a little bit more exposure to it, because personally, I hate it. So instead, this one was Windows 11, but it had a lot of backend configuration that was kind of messing it up. Namely, we couldn't RDP into it. That's a big not helpful. Oh, the streaming just stuck? Who's like it streaming? Hit F5 it, Ronan. See if it'll come up. Sim, how does the stream look on your side? Oh, my wrist is absolutely brutal right now. So it's weird because I can feel it all the way from here, and it curves all the way down to my elbow right here. So there's some kind of tendon running along through here that just really messed me up. Okay, good, Ronan. I was worried that like I wasn't doing anything, or like that what I was getting was false info. But welcome on in. So you said image. I thought you meant virtual machine image, like in the lab. All right, here's what I'm thinking about doing real quick. I'm gonna just delete, maybe. That's right. I'm gonna leave that as it is right there. Let's hop over into the Ludus server real quick. Let me list out the range again. Okay, because that's showing off. What I would prefer to do, actually, is use something in the dev range. So we'd have like a little bit more persistent machine, one that we could kind of move in and out. I'm trying to think about how I want to do this. Because one of the things I don't want to happen is we go through and we take the time to set up this machine to do all this binary building for us of these different tools we want to use. Like, if we want to go build our own copy of Mimikatz, we want to go build our own copy of Rubius, whatever. I don't want to go build it out and then have it accidentally get blown away with the range. You feel me? So, I'm trying to think what approach I might want to take with this. I mean, I think one of the things we could possibly do is create our own like Windows 10 system, and then use that instead of trying to do it with Windows 11, because Windows 11 sucks. But basically, go create our own one and then move it in and out of the ranges as we need it, so it has the ability to connect over. Another thing that would be handy is if over on Kali, if we had Kali connected to some kind of cloud storage. So if we had Kali, then we could just go log into a cloud storage system. Then we could just share those repositories over. We wouldn't even have to put it in there. Let me think about what might be an efficient way to do that. Well, we do have Tailscale set up. Maybe we set up Tailscale on Kali here, and then we have our developer machine also in Tailscale. Then we can connect to it that way. That might be one option. I'd be up for testing that out. Because a lot of the functionality I think I'm going to want in Mythic is going to come from some of those add-ons. Later, if we could go write beacon object files, that would be really sweet too. Because then we could start porting over some of that functionality that we like from Rubius over into a beacon object file. Or, what is cough? Damn, I'm trying to remember what that... Cough. Cough load is implemented in Cobalt Strike. The cough is used to... the cough are modified programs integrating functions that can be injected with the Cobalt Strike beacon enhanced. Beacon enhance the name. Is that a complete sentence? A cough loader is implemented in Cobalt Strike. The cough used are modified program integrating functions that can interact with the Cobalt Strike beacon, enhance the name beacon object file, or simple op. Okay, I think I like where you're going, but syntax. Let's see what this guy says about buff and cough loaders. Oh, okay, so it's a beacon object file or a common object file format. Gotcha. So I'd like to have one. I'd like to be able to go through both of those and work on it. That was a good stream. Learned about GitHub releases, and I got my payload on the Windows for Sliver. Nice, dude. Dude, I'm doing okay, man. But dude, my wrist is jacked from trying to push myself too much today. Because yesterday it was wrist curls, and that's what really messed up my wrist. And then today it was rows. So like I'm holding the bar like this and pulling in. And that pulling action, my freaking wrist was not having it, and it was not a happy camper. So, um, oh, hey guys, bear with me one sec. I will be right back. All right, I'm back. I remembered that I had a wrist wrap when my wife actually hurt her wrist. So I was like, oh, let me go throw that sucker on. It's gonna make typing funny. But dude, the wrist is killing me. So I'm supposed to go ATV riding this weekend. I don't know if that's gonna happen. Yeah, wood totes, and I used a little bit. Oh, thanks, babe. In fact, she found the big boy one here. Throw that on. Yeah, ice is kind of helping it, totes, but once it kind of warms back up. So I've been trying a couple different things on it, but I go to a physical therapist for my back. My back is a trunk because years of neglect in martial arts, and so actually it wasn't. I don't even think it was the martial arts fault. But anyway, I go see a physical therapist a couple times a month, like 2 or 3 times, for my back. And so, but he treats other stuff too. So when I go to see him on Monday, I'm gonna go have him check it out. It's like, hey dude, can you look at my freaking wrist? It's in a rough state. All right, let me throw this sucker on here. Like I said, it hurts all the way from the wrist down to the elbow. Here we go. This one's the beefy boy. You can feel my wrist hating life. All right, much better. Completely immobilizes your thumb too, so this is going to be weird. Can I work the mouse? I can do it with just my fingertips. There we go. So here's a basic BOF example and an aggressor script example. That's cool. Euler, what's up, my man? How you doing? Euler, are you at summer camp right now? I hadn't seen you in a little bit. I didn't know if you were maybe traveling. Alright, I'm gonna leave this topic alone. I was just curious what the difference between the BOF and COF was. Those are things that we're gonna want to go develop ourselves too, right? Because remember, we had the idea that I wanted to take Rubius, take that functionality, convert it into something that could be run as a beacon object file or a COF maybe here, but then split up the functionality in it. And that idea might change. The idea here is, depending on how these agents function, is when we're going to be sending this data over to the agent. Because when we're doing this Cobalt Strike, beacon would send the binary every time we wanted to execute it, right? I just realized I bopped the microphone. Sorry if that was too loud. it was send that it was send that binary every time we wanted to execute. Like we did execute assembly, bam, it would zip that binary over to the agent. I don't know if Mythic is doing the same thing though. I think Mythic might actually be taking that file and staging it in memory on the agent. But making a new tool, no summer camp. Hey dude, at least you're being productive. Hey Deb. My main mama. I was about to lay down and read some of the Count of Monte Cristo before I fall asleep. Okay, dude. I've been reading About Face by Colonel Hackworth. That's a really good memoir. I'm still like in the earliest parts of the book too. All right, not to get too distracted, but what I need to do here is let me go check something real quick. I think I gotta do it in this other window. Oh god, moving the mouse is so hard. Let me go over to tail scale real quick. Interesting, can I do this? Let me see. Jeez. Add a device. Let's see, if I want to go add Linux to this. And we could either add it as Debian... Yeah, probably if we add it as Debian Bookworm. Copy. Alright. We're gonna try this real quick here in the lab. Y'all can't see it because it's on the other monitor, but... Oh my god. I'm moving the mouse so slow. Alright, let's go pull this sucker up. I don't know why I'm trying to run a curl command in a Chrome tab. That's kind of dumb. Oh, we're not actually running Mythic on the Kali box. I was actually testing something for Mr. Feature earlier today with the deployment for Kali. Let's see, so a browser-embedded web testing tool. My newest pen test has been interesting. No access to Linux other than WSL and EDR on the testing machines. So my solution is making a browser extension that could be installed anywhere that does everything that burp, derb, and such do. No need to get those other tools that could be utilized on any OS. Nice. Are you using like WebAssembly or anything to do that, or are you just writing it purely in like HTML5? And so you're talking about this would be something that like you're running on your system, right? You're not running it like on like a system you're trying to compromise. Okay, let's see if I can paste this in here. Just install it as an extension of Firefox. Okay, that'd be pretty sweet, man. That'd be pretty cool, yeah, because if you think about it, they're really the only tools that you've really got for web testing. Now, I understand a lot of folks have been telling me Zap is not that bad. I've never used Zap. Everything I've done has been in Burp Suite Pro. Or Community, like in a pinch. But Burp Suite's kind of been it. And then I tried Kaido, but I didn't like their setup the way like you have to log into the cloud component. It used to not be that way. I wish they would go back. And so, or at least have an option to like not have that in there. You're not gonna let me. I hit. I don't know what just happened. There? Most of the backbone code is done and the content discovery is done. Oh, nice, dude. That'd be pretty slick. I'd be interested to see that. Especially since I had thought about whenever we were going to build out like the Rubik's lab, is having like, if we really wanted it to be a challenge, is the Bastion host would be something like, or be something like a Linux machine with something like Volhub on it. So you got to compromise the system using a known exploit from Volhub, and then you got to pivot from that Linux machine into the first Windows box. I thought that would be kind of cool. I'm debating which way I'm going to go with that whenever we finally build that lab out. Oh, my freaking wrist, man. It'd be an honor, dude. I'm glad you think so highly of me. All right, I'm gonna try Control C this. Did it actually install? Clear. Reset. There we go. Right, let me try. My typing is severely hindered. There we go. Installation's complete. Okay. Sudo scale up. To authenticate, visit this site. Yeah. Oh god, the struggle to mouse is real. If I'd had some time, if APT hadn't just completely zonktified me, I would have iced my wrist before the stream, but as it was, I was already 20 minutes late getting started. So instead, I decided I'll just go ahead and suck it up. Oh, what did I replace MOBA Xterm with? Oh, okay. Guacamole is actually a pretty cool server for like a lab environment. This one here is using Chasm VNC. Super handy because it's all web-based also. The tool I'm using instead that I really, really like is called Royal TS. This is the Windows version. There's also Royal TSX, which is the Mac version. I like the Mac version better, but they're not quite at feature parity. And the reason for that is... Why is it doing that? My chat's being weird. Okay. They're not quite at feature parity. One of the reasons is, you know how here on the Windows version, we come over to Proxmox. You see how we've got these different browser tabs. So this is a browser object, right? And I come over to these different tabs right here. Well, if you try to do that in TSX, it just crashes the desktop. So, minor differences. Okay, so now we should have... Okay, so we've got Attacker Kali in there now. So what we could do now is we go modify the range. We have it deploy as a Windows 10 box. And in that Windows 10 box, we have it do a couple different things. Oh, no, sorry. That's not what I want to do. I want it to be outside the range. This is going to be like a meta box. One that's always useful, right? Always out there. Because actually, that would work perfect. So we have like a developer box outside of the environment, right? What we can do then is anytime we need it to connect to different environments, we connect our different ranges, right, over to let's say the Kali attacker, and then bam, we've instantly got it set up where we could transfer that stuff over. I think that'll work. I think that's just crazy enough to work. So let's do something here real quick. Let's go find Windows 10. And then, actually, you know what I want to do? I think I want to do this a little bit differently. Let me think about this. Yeah, I like the idea of Commando. Every time I have tried to use Commando, it has bit me in the ass. So I think I'm not going to worry about Commando. I'm just going to do it the hard way and go load up my own tool. So we're going to start with very base Windows 10. Let's go find our Windows 10 machine. Let's clone it. We'll call this VM 999. We'll call this, I'm going to name this Meta, because it's going to like kind of be, it's going to exist outside of the different ranges. And we'll call it Win 10. And then we'll put it in the... We actually need to put it in a resource pool. Permission check failed. Dang it, I gotta log in as root. Ugh. Hey, Marky, what's up, dude? So the lab is pretty much like up for testing right now, Euler. We deployed Mythic 3.3, which is the current beta version of Mythic. And instead, so what we're doing is kind of messing with it. But one of the things I realized is we were supposed to have this commando VM that was supposed to take the place of, like, say, our Windows testing box that we had in the RTO. And RTO was kind of handy because it provided all of the tool binaries pre-compiled, right? It already had Visual Studio set up. All the tools were already compiled. We were in a good state. We'd have to do that ourselves in this case. Not necessarily a bad thing to do, but we've got to go figure out how we want to connect it all together. So we are doing some tinkering on the lab now to get that kind of going. And we should be able to clone this out now because each user in Ludus has their own resource pool. So the Blaze user, the dev user, the attacker user, and they have their own resource pool. But each of those users can only deploy VMs into their resource pool, right? Well, I need to have this outside of those resource pools to make sure that when the range gets wiped, that machine isn't wiped with it. So all I'm doing is I just logged out of the Blaze user and I logged in as the root user. Clone this one. Call this 999. And the name will be, I'm gonna call it meta win 10. And I'm gonna leave it outside of a resource pool. So we'll let that clone out real fast and then we'll go see about setting it up. All right, cool. So power on. And then what we do is once we get this Windows 10 box kind of configured, we'll go load Tailscale onto it, and then we'll go ahead and hit it again. Dude, this wrist is rough. Oh, I should have modified it. Dang it. Because I just realized I left it at 2 CPUs and 4 gigs. I want to modify that to 4 CPUs and 8 gigs. Yeah, we can, in fact, I snapshotted the game of Active Directory lab when we got that all up and running. So if we go make changes to it, we accidentally blow up a machine, we can revert from snapshot. Chuck. So I ran out of the lemonade and iced tea ones. This one is Dak Savage, which is black cherry and vanilla. It's good. Not my favorite again. Like I said, it's really hard to beat Afterburner Orange, but it is tasty. All right, cool. So this machine is up and running. Now let me check something real quick. I'm not sure what network this sucker connected to. So let's go check his network connection. Network. This one's connected to VMVR 1000, so he should be able to DHCP an address in here. Show. Let me check something also. Let's do net local group administrators. Okay, cool. So local user, the user we're logged in right now, is an administrator, so we can use local user as our RDP account. That should be good. And then let's do an IP config. All right, cool. So he's got, let's see if I can we just do a ping to quad ones here? Perfect. So he's got internet access. Excellent. That was the main thing we needed right there. Let's go and change the background quick. Why? Because I want something a little bit simplistic. Rather than a picture, solid color, and we're gonna make this one purple. Make it TCU purple. There we go. Oh no, that is too purple. Not this one. That's more pink. There we go. Nice royal eggplant. How do I get rid of this stupid stock ticker? Taskbar settings. Let's go customize this a bit. Show badges in the taskbar? I don't know what that is. Turn you off. Never. And then don't care about people, don't care about from the web. How do I get rid of that stupid stock ticker? Show the Cortana button. Don't care about that. At this rate, I might as well just go get a Tiny 10 install and set that up. Because I forgot, this is a very typical Windows 10 Enterprise. So while that might have been just easier to clone it out, Tiny 10 is something else I've been wanting to tinker with, so let's just go grab it real quick. Where's my web browser? Find it. Yeah, there it is. Tiny 10 down. Let's see. That's for Tiny 11. Let's go see if there's a Tiny 10 community on Reddit. Hey, there is. Let's see if they've got a way to download it. Let's see. All this stuff's from like 2 months ago. Let's see, with Windows 11 24H2 including an unbypassable hardware requirement, what does this mean for Tiny 11? Did I reply to this? Oh. Go back here. We've all been there. You have decided to give Tiny 10 or Tiny 11 a try, but you're confused about all the variants and names and links and whatnot. There we go. So how do we download this guy? We have to download the torrent file? Is that how we're going to have to do this? I am a big old nerd. I'm also a very hot nerd. I mean, temperature-wise, not just, being sexy. Give me one sec. This little spot around the desk right here turns into just a little heat bubble. And I forgot my fan wasn't pointing over here. Ah, so much better. Let's see. I'd rather just run like a Windows 10 debloat. Hey, Euler, thanks for the transmission, bro.
Incoming transmission from E_Weller.
I appreciate it, Bubba. Actually, hey, Euler, DM me on Discord, because there was something I was going to ask you, and I don't want to forget to ask you after the stream's over. It's debloat. Oh, here we go. This one is actually fairly up to date. Oh wait, I didn't want to do that. Let me copy that link and go. Actually, I tell you, let's open it and we'll see what's in it real fast. Ah, it's just run the PowerShell script. Cool. Let's take a look at this. Because especially like when you're running in a lab, and if it's a test, like a machine you're going to be using for like doing your own offensive stuff, you don't need a lot of those extra features. You just want to kind of deep load it, let it run a little simpler. Because they put so much crap in Windows. So extract, open terminal here, .command, try, run as admin if nothing happens. Copy and paste one of the lines below on your terminal block. All right, so we're going to set the execution policy as unrestricted. Sus. We're going to cursor for PS1s, and then we're going to unblock those files. Okay. Oh, this is actually pretty cool. Let's see, what's the CLI version? Oh, just do it on the command line. All right. Dude, it's my freaking... I know you're gonna get tired of me hearing about me complain about this, but holy shit, my wrist is... Alright, let's go grab this real quick, so we'll... Where are we from here? Copy link address. This supports 23H2 or older editions of Home and Pro. We're going to try running this on Enterprise. One of the good things about having disposable VMs that's nice. So we'll pack here. Ah, dang, you know what I just realized? Copy paste on this thing. Yeah, we don't have it. With no VNC, there's no clipboard sharing, unfortunately. Pretty sure. We'll just go pull it up. We'll get this guy set up and deep loaded. So this is from Drago X. Don't sync data. Don't bring your data over. This is why no one likes you, Edge. Wait. Edge is the... Did y'all know that Edge is the #1 browser for downloading other browsers? It recently replaced Internet Explorer. Drago X. There we go. This little gif right here. Let's see. Is that what it's called? Windows debloat tool? Yeah. There's debloat tools. This. And then we'll come down and grab the main version. Open that. I'm gonna just copy this over to documents real fast. Trying to drag. I have to hold my mouse like this, right? I can't rest my hand on it. It's like just moving it with my fingertips. Documents, debloat. So run as administrator. Then let me do something in here real fast. I just realized this install doesn't show the file extensions, which was an absolutely dumb move on Windows part, considering all of the double extension stuff that you see. And people get tired, man. If you're not paying close attention, those double extensions, right? You have an executable or something, and it looks like, oh yeah, well that's fine. It's a PDF or it's a text file. What's it gonna do? So our next step is we need to go completely unrestrict our system. and run their suspicious code that's probably malware. Let's do it. Make it step number 1. Now, the fact he loads up a GUI system from the PS1 is actually pretty cool. Okay, so custom tweaks. Enable dark theme. Clipboard sync across devices? No. Enable Cortana. Enable legacy context menu. Location tracking, news and interest. No, let's not do that. Enable Hyper-V? No, Hyper-V is the devil. Let's see. Windows Sandbox, Windows Media Player. We don't need any of those things. Yeah, we can even remove, like, OneDrive. That's sweet. Yeah, goodbye, OneDrive. Don't need you. I don't want to get rid of Microsoft Edge just yet, because I need to, like, install something else. Oh, thanks, man. One second. There she is. She didn't get enough sleep when I had her isolated earlier today because I had to leave the house, so she's catching up on it. Install apps, Quick Assist, Sound Recorder, Taskbar, widgets. Actually, yeah, we do want PowerShell Ice. That'd be nice to have. Miscellaneous features, enable God mode. I don't know what that is. I don't want to turn that on. Let's see, randomize system colors, reinstall, repair Windows, debloat. Light tweaks. Now this thing is still here though. You're underwhelming. I don't want that. No task view, no. How do I get rid of you? Lock the task. Oh, what's it doing here? Oh, cool. It's downloading and installing the malware now. Sweet. Yeah, don't turn on the Pandacam too much because she's been sleeping in a different part of the office. She's been sleeping over on a gym bag instead of on my old backpack. It's all my old stuff she wants to sleep on. Cutting up the circulation to my thumb. Ah, there we go. I forgot, this thing's modular. You can pull the thumb wrap off. And I can't even say, like, you know, I hurt my thumb in a cool way. It's like, how did you hurt your thumb? Like fighting a lion or something? No. It's pulling a bar. Dude, and then today, actually, because of my wrist, I had to cut my workout short. And actually, I dropped the freaking bar on my toe. Just one toe. So that toe is now giant and purple. My blue healer started doing the same thing. He's on my backpack, my black hat backpack from 5 years ago. I'll tell you what's something funny is I ran into some guys at DEF CON last year. I was talking to them. They were there with like their families, right? And he said it was funny because he's got a bag that's like an old DEF CON bag. I'm like, is that your diaper bag? He's like, yep. I mean, I'm talking like a DEF CON 15 or something bag, right? So, I understand this year they started bringing back more of the kid-friendly stuff. And I forgot how they did it last year, but they used to do something called the Roots Village, and it was like just for kids. And then I think they decided to break that up and have like dedicated child spaces in each of the villages, or at least in some of the villages. I can't wait till my kid's old enough to take them to DEF CON. It'd be so fun. All right, still loading modules. We're gonna do this. Oh, there we go. That's system tweaks. What about software installs? Can we Oh, I guess it's still doing stuff. Okay. We'll let this kind of just process for a little bit. In fact, I could do something to let it do automatically. What's crazy is I feel the same thing on this arm, but for some reason, this is the one, I guess, where the carpal tunnel was. Probably from using the mouse and playing too many damn video games as a young man. Getting old now. I got a black cat binky and used it for every kid. Nice. What's funny is my friends were joking. It's like, oh, what are you gonna call my currently youngest son if you have another one? I was like, he's still gonna be the APT. He's still a toddler. The other one's gonna be the API, the adorably persuasive infant. I haven't really come up with a good nickname for my oldest son. I call him Zero because he was the first, the first in the array. But that's the only thing I've got for him. He's very different from his sibling. He's usually pretty sweet. He's pretty easygoing. He has strong opinions, but you can talk to him as long as it's not about food. If it's about food, forget it. Oh, this is doing a lot more than I had expected. This is what I was expecting. All right, cool. I think my current plan is tomorrow night. Going to go take the kiddos camping, because we can actually go camp at one of the racetracks and go have a good time, just chill out, not have to worry about bedtime and stuff like that. And then in the morning, we can just hop on our four-wheelers and go riding. I'm cautiously waiting for the truck market to just go, because I don't know if anybody have looked at like the idea of purchasing a truck, but the amount of money they want for a pickup truck right now is insane. So I'm looking forward to potentially getting my own, but I'm not paying anything near what they want for a Ford F-150. They're out of their minds. That's cool. This is installing .NET 3.5, which encodes .NET 2 and 3. Nice. That might be handy where we want to work on some of those .NET 3.5 binaries. I mean, most of them work anyway when you port them forward to .NET 4. I got a race car for less than they want. Yeah, no kidding, right? I mean, they're talking like north of 70 grand, north of 60 grand for a pickup. And I'm not talking like a big, 5,500 or 3,500 even, or like, F350 or something like that. We're talking like an F150. And like, you're out of your minds. Yeah, I really don't know. I don't know what Ford and some of the others are really thinking. I'm like, you guys are nuts. Ford and GM are just out to lunch. We're gonna let this churn for just a little bit. Like I said, I apologize for my wrist kind of slowing things down. Otherwise, we'd have other stuff I would be doing during this. But honestly, I'm just enjoying just watching the paint dry for a sec. I'm gonna have to take something before bed. All right, so I think this is all done. What about software install? What do we got here? Oh, nice. Look at what we got here. So we can install. Well, that's sort of cool. If we had certain CPU and GPU installs we wanted to do, let's go ahead and install Brave. Why not? Get a little Brave action. Rocket Chat, Signal, Skype, Slack, Telegram. I don't need any of those. Text editors. VS Code? Yes, we want that. Visual Studio 2022 Community? Yes, I will take that. Install WSL? No. Actually, I don't know. We actually might be able to... I want to try it. I want to try what happens. Install Debian GNU Linux. I want to try that. I want to see what happens in here, because I think this should support nested virtualization in this environment. Let's see. Imaging tools. Oh, we don't need that. We do want 7-zip. It is a really handy tool. This guy put a lot of TLC into this. Let's see. Gaming. Borderless gaming, EA Desktop, Steam, Ubisoft. Oh, cool. You can even install ADB. That's cool. I don't think we need any of the rest of this stuff like Node, Python 3, Rust, Ruby. I know, that's all just Ruby. Let's see. Team viewers, Spotify, Netflix. Don't need that. Document readers. Let's see. Don't need any of that. We don't need a BitTorrent client. Academic research, that's kind of cool. Twilio, bootable USBs, don't need that. Virtual machines, VO workstation player, that's kind of neat. All right, let me see what else we might want in here. Utilities, don't think we need any of those. Emulations, think we're good. Reporting, oh neat, it'll even go down and grab OBS Studio. Very nice. Let's see, cloud storage we don't need. UI customizations, network management. I think we're good on the rest of this. Maybe we will want Wireshark though. We're testing some stuff out. Okay. Install selected software. Go. I saw a Ford Mustang SUV today. Yeah, I've seen those. I'm like, that's not a Mustang. That's not even close to a Mustang. If anything, you should call it the Ford Hippo. Which is kind of funny, actually, if you think about it. Do we really know what dinosaurs look like? Just think about this. If you look at the skeleton of a hippo, and you gave that to somebody, it's like, hey, this was a vicious hunter. Can you kind of reconstruct the hippo and get an idea of like what it would look like with flesh and bone in it? They draw it as like this vicious thing, not this little cuddly blob that just happens to be so big it could chomp you in half, right? Yes. Let's let this install here for just a second. This is actually one of the things I like about, as much as I would prefer not to do this kind of stuff on stream, one thing I want people to appreciate is, hey, sometimes it takes quite a bit of time to go set up your infrastructure, right? You've got to be able to like configure and set up and get your gear ready. It's like, if you think about it, like the guys who are in the military, they're in special forces or something, anything like that. What they're going to do is they spend a lot of time getting their gear ready if they're smart. Yeah, or even a fox. It's got sharp teeth and just say it was from 100 billion years ago. What's funny is I used to joke that the chickens that I've got were tiny dinosaurs, because the kids would come over and they'd look at them and they'd be like chickens. I was like, yeah, they're tiny dinosaurs. And then my nephew, who was staying with us at the time, would come over and he's like, hello, tiny dinosaurs. So I got a good kick out of that. That's this side over here. Let's see what this is looking. I need to readjust this whole layout here whenever I get a chance. Say that too. Tiny dinosaurs. See if I can find something real quick while this is installing. Dang it, that's not. Can't really see that. Hang on. Open image. That's what it reminds me of. I thought about getting that poster. Like, just remember who you are. So it's funny because we think about it like this. It's like, what if they really had like giant feathers and we just don't know about the feathers? The feathers degraded. Only thing we've got is the skeleton. It'd be kind of funny. Just imagine like the vicious T-Rex, and he's got like little feathers with his tiny arms poking out. And instead of just roaring, he's like, there we go. All right, cool. Starting package install. Awesome sauce. All right, let's think about this real quick. Let's try and make ourselves. Do I still have the iPad up? Let's see. No, it's not up. See if this comes up here. This will be an interesting experiment because, like, to hold the pen, I'm gonna have to hold it like this. The connection did not time out, you piece of junk. Wait, process complete. There's no way we have Visual Studio in there. There's no way. I've never seen Visual Studio installed that fast. Impossible. Oh, see, now it's like 2 of 5. Brave. Gotcha. Makes more sense. Here. Dang it. I even have my mouse sensitivity turned down. So I can try and control a little bit better. Let's think of some of the tools that we had over in RTO. I'm trying to remember. So first and foremost, we need a copy of Rubius. We're doing a lot of our Kerberos ticket shenanigans. What else do we want? We probably want AD search also. But AD search is questionable because I think the Apollo agent actually had an LDAP query system. So what we could do is we could take all the AD search queries and just convert them over to whatever Apollo is using. So that's a questionable one. I'm trying to think what else we had in there. Probably want our own copy of Cats. Actually, there's another one in there that I want. LSA Whisperer. LSA Whisperer. That is supposed to be a way that you can actually go read LSAS memory without actually directly hooking LSAS, if I understand it correctly. But it's a way to get a lot of the functionality similar to Mimikatz with the auth providers in Windows without having to actually touch that process. Because that's like a giant red flag, right? The LSAS process, when it comes to EDR, is like, this is a high threat zone. If you even get within the fence, we're going to blast you. Let's see, what else might we want in here? I'm gonna get like the Bloodhound collector. Bloodhound collector. Let's see, what else would we like? Okay, that's still installing. I'm trying to think of what other tools we might want to have. What else did we have in Red Team Ops? Go. Let's go pull it up. I need to get my cable management under control while it's still manageable. I had beautiful cable management on this desk, but this desk wasn't always a standing desk. And then when I swapped to a standing desk, all my cable management went out the window because all of a sudden the cables instantly were too short. They were like just the right length. All the cables were like nicely zip tied and Velcroed, and I had them all out of the way. And now it's a freaking jungle. Yeah, because the cables were entirely too short to make it work. Let's see, I'm trying to think what else we might want to do. I'm just trying to remember it from memory, but let me go pull something up here real quick. Cat 5 from Home Depot is crazy expensive. Really? Cat 5 used to be dirt cheap, man. Give me 1 second. There we go. Trying to go log into the course real quick. So, had a really good day today. Actually, I got to talk to a fella that is going to give me some pointers on his big thing is doing cloud security. And so he's going to give us some pointers on how we can go set up our own, how we can do something like an Azure hybrid environment from the lab, right? So that would be really badass if we could do that. Man. There we go. Let me try. I'm trying to pull up the course material, but not stream it. If you get pre-terminated cables, the price is okay, but if you get a box of unterminated, it's expensive. What? That does make no sense. Oh, it could be a riser or a plenum cable, yeah. That's my dashboard. So just taking a look at some of the topics we did. So external recon, not too much we'd want in that for this particular thing. Password spraying, we might want mail sniper. That's another one. Yeah, the mail sniper and the spraying toolkit, those might be handy. Mail Sniper was pretty cool because it's going to allow us to try and get a bunch of information from their system. There's also Domain Harvest OWA. We might, yeah, I'm not sure if I want to get those. Right, yes, install. Install. Built to install package WSL.
Bullshit, I can't hear you. Sound off like you got a pair.
You're so full of crap, you. I think this is done. Needed my USMC fix in that. Let's see. Oh, cool. Yeah, install chocolate tape. Perfect. Definitely want that. And then once this is done, we should be able to reboot the machine. We'll double check it. We'll see if we can RDP into it, and then we'll snapshot it. Process complete. Nice. We're done with you. Yes, go ahead and restart. I'm putting that on the TV now. Oh, Full Metal Jacket. Yeah, it's pretty funny because a friend of mine is actually getting ready to go into the Corps, and another friend of ours was in the Corps for a long time. And so he's like, "Hey, let me know where you end up whenever you go to basic. I'll make sure and give your DI a call. You know, make sure he knows to take real good care of you, tuck you in at night, give you a little kiss on the forehead." I was like, "Oh, you gonna get it, son." I have to get this really weird angle with this darn brace on so I can get it. So, Laughing, I had an idea. So what I did is I deployed a standalone Windows box here. I'm calling it a meta box because it's not going to belong to a range. It's not in a resource pool. And what we're going to do is I'm going to connect that to Tailscale, and then all I have to do is connect each of my Kali machines to Tailscale. And that way, what we can do is I can use that machine to be able to transfer stuff through the Tailscale network to my Kali attacker. And then also, if I want to get remote access to it, bam, I just got to hop onto Tailscale. Okay, let's go see if that machine finished rebooting. All right, cool. Let me go test something real quick here. So what is this machine's IP address? PowerShell. Econfig. All right, so this is 0285. Add. It's so slow with this wrist brace on. All right, we're going to call this meta win10. It's going to be 192.0.2.5. Was that it? Yeah. Wait, hold on, is that right? That's not right. All right, I'm going to save this, but we actually need to go adjust it because this is on VMBR 1000. VMBR 1000 is a standalone isolated network in Ludus. So it has internet access, but that's maybe not what we want. That's not what I want. So you can RDP into your machines. I just have Netbird on my Ludus server, so that way I can get my Kali machine into the range with WG. Okay. Yeah, so actually here in my built-in Kali box right here, in this range, I installed Tailscale, and then once I get this Windows 10 meta box is what I'm calling it. Once I get that set up, I'm gonna have Tailscale on it, and then I should be able to just set up a very simple public share on that Windows 10 box and copy stuff over to Kali, so we can have a build box like we did on our attacker machine with in RTO, and then we can just transfer stuff over to Kali whenever we need to actually use like a new binary, a new .NET tool that we got to build, stuff like that. But I need to go change the network on it real quick here. So, network, edit. This does not need to be on VMBR 1000. It needs to be on VMBR 0. And then what we'll need to do is get it a new IP address. Release. Brand new. I think let's say 1.84. This in here. Properties. Dang it. It's so hard with the damn wrist brace on. Alright, so this is 1.18. Go edit this again. .184. Then let's go configure some credentials for it fast. So you specify username and password. This is going to be local user. Actually, come to think of it, I could have left that on VMBR 1000, and that would have been the better thing to do. I'm going to test this, and if it works, I'm going to move it back over to VMBR 1000. All right, cool. So this did work. So what we'll have to do is I'll need to set up Tailscale on my host system to be able to RDP into it. And that'll be the better thing because this is pretty much like a wide open system. I don't want it exposed on my home network. So let's go make another modification of that. We're going to put it back on VMBR 1000, which is the isolated, what is it? It's the isolated Ludus network. Let's go modify this. Put that right there. And then let me go grab the Ludus config. Oh wait, you know what? We haven't joined this machine. I just remembered that. What we'll do is we'll pop back over here. We'll just do this from the console real quick. Hey, Laughing, that's good news, man, about your degree, dude. That's freaking great. Hey, Caffeine, what's up, my man? Sir Caffeine, sorry, don't let me diminish your status. So I'm going to go to tailscale.com/download Windows. Dude, I jacked my wrist all up exercising today. And then just one of my toes, because I dropped the exercise bar, which is very solid metal. Not very heavy, but very solid. Just on one toe. Yeah, so this wrist is all kinds of messed up from like right here all the way down to the elbow. Doing wrist curls yesterday and then me being dumb and trying to do rows today, and I guess that pulling action and holding it just made it nope right the hell out. So my workout was rather pathetic today. I was able to do my chest press just fine, but the rows, the overhead press, they just didn't happen. Yeah, that's why I'm wearing the wrist brace, because I messed up this tendon right in here, I guess, right where it almost feels like carpal tunnel a bit, but not quite, because like I don't have any numbness in here. It's just lightning right across my wrist there. So when I go to see my physical therapist on Monday, he usually just fixes my back, but if I have other issues, I'll be like, hey man, can you fix my wrist too? Can you fix my leg? He's really quick. He's really great. Squats and deadlifts are actually still, well, actually, I don't know. Deadlifts might be off too, because it wasn't the pushing motion, right? But the lifting motion. I might be able to get a... I'll have to think about it. I might actually have a workaround because of my weight belt that I could hook to do the deadlifts. No, that's not going to work. If I got the wrist wraps that actually have like the hook onto them that could assist with the pull, I could probably baby it for a while. But as it is right now, trying to grip with these 3 fingers is what jacked this up. Alright, so now how do I connect? Could give me like a QR code to log in. Let me see your war face. Oh, hold on. Alright, 1 sec, y'all. Oh, I need to go rename this host also. I need to change the host name. Yeah, that's my war face. What's funny is I took a picture with this Army Master Sergeant, really cool guy. He was giving a talk, and a bunch of people were taking pictures with him. So I was grabbing cameras and I'm like, all right, just cue up the cameras and just bam, bam, bam. And I made the joke one time out, let me see your war face. And he was such a sweet guy. He's like, I don't really have a war face anymore, son. I'm like, oh, sorry, sir. Hey, cool, it's connected. All right, we need to go change this host name then. Host name. Yeah, I got Little Broad hard. Let me see. About. Rename this PC. There we go. We'll display. Meta with 10. There we go. I know, right? Dude, I saw the darkest military meme I've ever seen in my life, and it was a picture of this dude's kind of like scary night face, you shine the flashlight up and you're telling a story, and it was when your battle buddy wakes you up at 0200 for Sentry, then you realize you've been out for 10 years and he died in your arms. I'm like, oh, that was like ice through my heart. Like, oh. That was probably the single most brutal meme I've ever seen. And I used to go on 4chan. It's not even funny dark, it's unnecessarily dark. Yeah. It's 99% dark chocolate dark. Unnecessarily dark. Alright, let me set this up here. Yes, set as default. Nice. Okay. You can copy this. All right, now I got to do one more thing, which is I need to actually go set up tail scale on this machine. So what Tailscale is doing is it's setting us up a cool little network in the back end that we'll be able to go and hit all these things. There's no water. That's right. Be right back, guys. I'm back. I have so much shit running on this computer. I really need to uninstall some stuff. APT time. It was not APT time. It was PP time and hydrate time. Thankfully, the sock very successfully stuffed the APT into bed. Yeah, PPT. Actually, TTP would be even funnier. It's like, time to pee. Yeah. Be right back, guys. I gotta go handle some TTPs. Bam. Finding that one bug that hasn't been patched, even though the devs say they patched it. I know, right? And actually, that's one of the ways that typically, that's the easiest way to get into systems and in organizations. Like, if they don't have good patch management, then that's like one of the worst things that can happen. When you build a makeshift house in the men's room, you call it the PPTP. Yes, the sock does enable the red team. Absolutely. Especially my sock. She's a trooper. Okay, so now, got this set up. I should be able to access this through Tailscale now. Let's go to Properties. And we'll change this. It doesn't matter what IP address this guy has. Let's go double check it though. It should be a 1920 address. Config. Yes, perfect. So now the IP address that we're going to put in is actually the one from Tailscale. So Copy that. And let's just see if this works. Hey, oh, gonna work. Is it gonna work? Hey, look at that. You're a wizard, Harry. Or maybe you prefer to use the Force Link. Alright, cool. So now what we should have is... Let's actually come over here to the C drive and we'll go set up some goodies real quick. So here in the C drive, we're going to make us a new folder. Call it Tools. And then Tools is actually going to be shared out. Propertize. God, I might have to do sock work. Not yet, though. Let's see. Sharing. So I'm going to share this thing. And then, yes, local user have read write. Yes, turn on network discovery. Awesome. So we should be able to go to Meta Win10 Tools. Well, the IP address. And go get it. Close that. Dude, some people really like SOC work, especially like you become one of the advanced SOC analysts, right? And you can go hop in and do like the advanced triaging. Some people really like that. And hey, also, if you just like... Okay, so I know everybody says you need to be passionate about security to work in it. That's not necessarily true. You do need... It does help because the passion will help get you past the shitty parts of the job. But honestly, if you are happy being a tier 1, tier 2 SOC person, and you're good at your job, and you just like what you're doing, there's no reason to say that you're a bad person for not wanting to advance beyond that. If you are happy with where you're at, you enjoy the work, enjoy the people, and you want to stay there, that's not a bad thing. A lot of people, they cause themselves a lot of heartache by constantly feeling like they have to push themselves to strive further. And that's against their nature, more or less. Not everybody is meant to have that strive. And that's okay. If you just want to be like the very most badass tier 1, tier 2 SOC person, then do that. They want to say, oh yeah, well you do it so great, you know, hey, we want to promote you to being like a team leader or manager. And you say, nah, bro, I just want to sit on my keyboard, and when those things come in, I want to find the interesting ones and go through and work on them. You can do that. Don't let anybody feel like, hey, well, you know, we want everybody who's going to always strive to be the best. It's like, if you're trying to get those folks, what's going to happen is, yeah, you're going to have competent people, but they're only going to be competent until they can't grow anymore in the company, right? They're going to outgrow that company because only so many people can really advance. They're going to go somewhere else. Passion is mediocre. Get good. You're only dope while you give a shit. Are you gonna put Hannah Montana Linux in the lab? God. That's a bannable question. I just want you to know that. Now, we'll tell you a funny story about Hannah Montana Linux. A friend of mine was very deathly afraid of the evil maid attack, right? You go in and you infect the bootloader on the system. So he kept his laptop's bootloader on a USB drive on his keychain. That was his bootloader. Everything that was on the laptop itself was the encrypted partitions. So his buddy gets a hold of his keys, makes a backup of it. He DDs a backup of it so it doesn't jack up his stuff. And then puts Hannah Montana Linux on it. So he boots it up and it's Hannah Montana Linux on his laptop. He was so fucking pissed. Yeah, a lot of those guys do tend to be overly paranoid. If you lost it, never mind. That story proved my assumption right. Yeah. All right, let's go start getting some tools set up here. let's go grab. Let's start with good old Rubius. Paranoid equals elite Haxor. Yeah. Actually, so that used to be like actually a real thing, caffeine, right? Is that they're always super paranoid about and stuff. I kind of like the term privacy punks, where they're not really so concerned about computer security as they're only concerned about security as it relates to their privacy. And so those are two distinct things. And so I don't think those people are bad. I find them maybe a tad bit overzealous. I was going to use HTML to do a presentation to troll everybody, but the kernel version doesn't support what I was trying to do, and it was more effort than output, so I scrapped it. Yeah, I get that. All right, so let's go. Let's download the zip file. Let's do that. Save that, and then we'll go grab it once it's done downloading. Is Defender enabled on this machine? Because we'll definitely want to turn that on. Yeah. No. 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 Hell no. Yeah. Oh, you go away. I am super toxic. Super toxic. I had to think about that. Dude, I like this is the music from Heartbound, Pirate Software's game, right? If you don't know what that is, do exclamation point music in the chat. It'll link you to it. But yeah, it's a great soundtrack, especially for streaming. And he said, hey, you go buy it on Steam. You can use it on your streams and videos. I'm like, deal. So it's like $5 on Steam too. It is a good deal. Here to tools. Actually, I want to go pin this real quick. Into start. Add it here. Pin to quick access. There we go. Let's copy this here. OPSEC's only important when it matters. Right. You got to remember also, you're only paranoid if they actually aren't out to get you. All right, so there's Rubius. Let's go see if we can just open the solution file and build it. The little visual studio that could. Yep. Oh, dang it. You know what I just realized? This machine is still running in hobble mode. It's only 2 CPUs and 4 gigs of RAM. Visual Studio is going to clobber it. We need to reboot the machine and upgrade the memory, update the specs. Mux. Let's see. Processor, edit. 1 socket, 4 cores. And then memory, edit. We're going to do... Dang it. I wish it would just let you do gigs. Who the heck does that? 16 times 10. Damn it. 16,384. That's right. 15,384. Alright, so now when we reboot this computer, we should be doing. We should have a lot better stuff. Okay, you know what? Close. Close. Go away. I'm gonna reboot this thing right now. Suggestions to help supercharge my learning. One thing that I like doing is drawing diagrams and taking handwritten notes. And even if the notes kind of suck, the process of thinking about how to take the notes does help. Something else is make it almost ritualistic on how you're gonna learn. So like if you need dedicated, repeatable study time, then you know, okay, cool. This is how I'm gonna start. This is how I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna do it, and it just helps get your mind in that right frame. And the other thing is, don't rely on motivation to learn something. Motivation can be helpful, but also anger can be a motivator, right? Maybe you're just like, I'm gonna make this professor so mad because I'm gonna just freaking nail his exam or his take-home whatever. I'm just note-taking. So finding a way to actually go implement what you're note-taking on also is super helpful.
Caution. A virus has been detected.
Fisherman Guybro virus detected in the network.
The Fisherman Guybro virus. I have a feeling we're gonna have a wave of attacks coming in. Dude, I raided some guy last night. He freaking had a Nerf gun set up, and it shot Nerf darts at him when someone raided. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. I was like, I don't have anything cool like that. What's up, man? Welcome in. We go check out your stream. I haven't seen you before. Okay. Just Fisherman, what were y'all working on, man? Yeah, I forget the guy's name last night, but I rated him, and it was so hilarious because the camera even like switched over to the Nerf gun, and it just starts auto firing. He was doing electronics. It was awesome. Doing some AI image generation and adding some features to our Discord bot. Ooh, nice. Very cool. I have not messed with anything on Discord bots, and eventually I want to go get one set up. That might be something we kind of do on the stream for grins and giggles. Yes, I know about that. All right, cool. So now our machine is up. Let's go see about building that .NET binary. So for everybody who just came in, my name is Blaze. I have been a penetration tester for 6 years and working on transitioning into red teaming. And what we do here is just red team shenanigans. Stuff that is primarily hacking over C2s, building custom tools, building custom labs so we can go test out some tradecraft. And all in all, just fiddling around and finding out. Which streamer? Let me see if I can find it. What's his name? I'm trying to remember his name. Dang it. I saved him because he seemed like a cool guy. And he was actually working on like a custom hamster ball that would move and chase him, I think. I don't have it in here, but he streams in Science and Tech. We need to install extra components. That's what we were doing last time. See how fast Visual Studio opened once we added the new CPUs and RAM? It was so slow. Yes, install le.net. Should download fairly quickly, too. So we'll let this download real quick. 9 megs a second? Oof. Oof. I think because it's having to go through the Debian router, I think that's why it's running so slow. Let's go see what's going on with that. Actually, it's not. I take that back. It's not going through the Debian router. It's going through the Ludus system. So what's our processes look like? Dude, we're not even hardly touching the CPU. We're at 8-9% sometimes. We're at 58, 59% RAM. We should be good. It should not be lagging like this. Oh, there we go. It's actually moving at a good clip. Turns out more computer makes your computer run gooder. Yeah. It was running good, but now it's running good-er. Once I get off the stream, I'm gonna go dunk my wrist into an ice bath. Like I said, we're supposed to go 4-wheel riding at an MX park this weekend. I'm gonna take this wrist brace with me, and hopefully it'll do okay. The problem is not the pushing motion, but if I gotta turn to the right and I have to pull this, I think I'll be okay because I can push with the left hand more to get that turn in. But dude, when I was doing the pulling motions today, this hand, that's what really aggravated it. It was okay-ish this morning, but when I tried to push it today, I knew I should just skip my damn workouts. My dumb fall. Oh, she is asleep down there. By the way, everyone, up here, this is Panda. Right there. A little Boston Terrier. She's a spaz. But she likes to sleep on my old stinky backpack under the desk. Oh, I took it off. I'll have to go set it up again. I used to have a Panda Zoom. Still got it. There she is. She just likes to sleep on my old stinky bags. Yeah, she's a sweetie. I mean, when she's not murdering my chickens. So I was talking with some fellas today about what the progression of the home lab is going to be. I think once we kind of get an idea of the feature set of Mythic, we're going to move away from Goad, and we're going to start building out like a lab maybe akin to the RTO, right? Something that's got a couple different workstations, couple different domains, different trust relationship setups, so that way we can go through and tinker with it. And then once we kind of get that established, I'm going to see about, I think the next step will be implementing EDR, so we can start working on like EDR bypasses. We're either going to do that with Elastic EDR, or we're going to do it with Lima Charlie. Haven't fully decided yet. And once we get done with Lima Charlie, but once we kind of get that up and running, we're then going to try to figure out how to expand it to Azure AD and make it hybrid, right? How many chickens do I have left? So I got another group of chickens, and so one survived the initial massacre.
Shut up, baby. I know it.
One survived the initial massacre, and then I got another group of 6. So I currently have 6 chickens, because it turns out the one that survived the massacre is actually a rooster. So I'm trying to find a new home for him, because you're not allowed inside Dallas County to have roosters. So the planet, Chris. What's up, dude? So I've actually I talked to my neighbor, and I was like, "Hey, man, is the rooster bothering you?" He goes, "Actually, no. We think it's kind of nice in the morning." So that's nice. So I am trying to. Dallas is whack. I can't wait to move out of Dallas. All I need to do is just find me a little house on the prairie with fiber. I'll be good. Just told about Blaze Bits. Thanks, man. You're like my best cheerleader, Chris. It's like, do you want to get gooder? Go watch Blaze Bits. And then they come in, they're like, oh yeah, we're watching Visual Studio Installer. Oh, too funny. Yeah, I ought to see if I can get one of my buddy who is a phenomenal hacker and a former Marine also. I ought to see if maybe he'll come on sometime because that dude's got some stories, like hacking stories, not just like Marine Corps stories. So I'm gonna try and work on something that's like a Q&A setup where like you can run like a command and it will put the questions into a queue so that I can ask them if like I have a guest come on. Yeah, he's a freaking hella smart dude. Makes me feel like a monkey on a keyboard. Oh, I don't know what I just hit, but I hit a nerve, like, because like I said, this thing is radiating all the way from here down across to my elbow on the interior side, and I hit something, and all of a sudden, like, my hand started, like it just, like, felt like something released. It was like, oh. USMC plus hacker equals must meet. Yeah. Will the question queue capture queues and queues? Yes. You'll be able to queue queues in the queue. Need a selfie to autograph and frame. Slow your roll there, Chris. I don't think anybody wants my autograph. And I'm not Mr. Beast. I can't afford to pay lackeys to forge my autograph. Ooh, too soon? People I've met in the hacking area have ranged from activists to people with traditional backgrounds. Yeah. Pretty much, I mean, I've known folks that came from, like, one that I know was a music major and then pivoted hard over into computers and is a security engineer. And I've known other people that got computer science degrees. I know some that are incredibly smart and they have no degree and didn't even finish high school. It's like, so it's one of those areas where it really is like a meritocracy, right? It's one of the few meritocracies like outside of professional sports in the world. Laughing likes living dangerously. Oh, because my favorite part of meeting new Marines just calling everyone Sarge. Yes, Laughing, I too like to live life dangerously. Danger's my middle name. Alright, let's see if we can get this solution to come up. I was in the Marine band for 4 years before I pivoted into IT and InfoSec. That's awesome, dude. I like hearing stories like that because, like I said, it's one of the few areas where it is one of the old school meritocracies, right? Would you like to open this project? Yes, open. Give me all the dangerous code. Let's see. So this... Oh yeah, download the .NET 4 framework. Because I don't want to update it to 4.8. I'd like to build it against the one it was built for. Finish my homework on JavaScript. Bless you, sir. And that comes from somebody who's... Sadly, most dev experience is in JavaScript. So, bless you, sir. .NET Core, .NET Frameworks. Now, how do I download and install .NET 4? I thought Windows Tweaks was going to handle that for us, but maybe I was mistaken. Found out my associate's degree covers the Java class, so I don't have to stumble through Java for little to no reason. Because of how many times I had false starts in school, I had to take an intro to programming class like 3 times. I took one in in high school. Actually, I take it back. You count middle school 4 times. I took 1 in middle school. I took 1 in high school. I took 1 at junior college, and then I had to take another one at TCU. So it was funny because apparently the class did so bad on the first test. The professor scheduled a mandatory 20-minute meeting with everybody in the class, and there was like 30 people in the class. It was a 100 level class, I think. So it was, lots of folks in there. A lot of people hadn't been weeded out yet. And he looks at mine and he sees my test. He's like, "Have you thought about switching to computer science?" Because I had done so much with computers by that point. And the only reason I missed a couple of the questions because it was in Java and I couldn't remember like the Java indexes start at 0 and other silly stuff like that. .NET 4.0 install. Gotta figure out how to do this. Java sucks, security for Java sucks, don't do it, yeah. Sure, download. See if this works. Save. Wait, this is the .NET framework, or do we need the .NET SDK? I don't know. We'll try. See what happens. If this works and it gets set up, then wait, then why does Visual Studio complain that we don't have it set up? Don't want Copilot, go away. Reload project. Update the target to .NET Framework 4.8. Okay, hold on. So the C# project Rubius targets .NET 4.0, which is no longer supported. While you can change the target framework at any time, for stability and security, I recommend to move it. No. Or do I need to download... Does anybody know, do I need to just download like one of the older .NET 4 SDKs? If we install the .NET 4.8.1 developer pack, will that do it? Let's try that. Let's try installing it. We'll see what happens. Save. My brain's smooth, so I think I'll just use Go. So Rubius was originally built around .NET 4, right? And so I don't want to use the latest version of .NET because you got to think anytime we infect a system, if we can get away with using an older but still common version of .NET, it's more likely to be supported on the system. Because when we do these execute assemblies and we load these C# files, they're using .NET, and so they've got to have the .NET framework installed and set up. Let's see if this will work. So we'll let this guy install real quick. Plus, I mean, this is some stuff we were going to need to do a little bit for the malware development. So this will also be our new malware development box. And really, once I get this up and running, we'll probably decommission the dev range, and we'll just do all of the Windows security internals. Oh no, wait, because that machine is using Windows 11. And so I don't know if it matters if we're using Windows 10 or Windows 11 for the security internals section. Let's see. Where was the lab setup instructions? Setting up testing environment, page 3. See if he just mentions if you... I don't think it matters if you're using 10 or 11. Yeah, I don't think it matters. So we could probably just use Windows 10 to do it. I try not to simply follow trends in programming because there's an article always touting the next big thing, even though it's not fully matured in terms of community adoption. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you saw the same thing with Dino, right? So you're supposed to have Node, which is a fully developed framework, right? But it had its own issues. So the guys that created Node wanted to fix some of those issues, so they created Dino. And Dino was really great, and it was touted as, oh my god, it's going to be amazing. But it didn't have a mature environment when it came out. Yeah, it's shinier and newer. Keep the shiny thing syndrome in check. JavaScript always has a framework being created. Yeah, no kidding. I have to restart the computer? Lame. Lame, sir. Bullcrap.js. So actually, I had an idea for what I was thinking about doing for the stream overlay here, and that is to basically, because in OBS you can have a web source, and that's how you do a lot of your alerts. You have basically a page that you can go copy, you put it as a web source in OBS, and then when somebody does something, it creates an alert, and that pops up as that web source. So like when somebody follows, well, and follows is not a good example. That's actually happening over in StreamerBot. But when somebody subscribes, or when somebody when a raid comes in, all those alerts are actually set up in Twitch. So what I was thinking about doing was taking like my own artifacts and using my web coding experience to use that to create a stream overlay. I just haven't figured out how I want to do that yet. Let's log in here. Let's go try this now. Let's go see if we can get Rubius to open so we can build it. And then once we get to that state, I'm going to go ahead and snapshot this box. Tools. Rubius. Let's see if this worked. We're getting the .NET 4 SDK up and running. Damn it. OffSec is expensive, yes. They're changing their catchphrase. It's not try harder, it's pay harder. Wait. Wait. Yeah, spend moocher. .NET 4.0 SDK. I'm curious what their little AI things are here. Download the Microsoft SDK for Windows 7 and .NET 4 from the official Microsoft download library. Yeah, whatever. Here, let's see if this works. I think that refutes your dissertation of the current state of affairs that hacking is a meritocracy. Well, you got to think also, you've got to still go through the material, right? And there's always going to be people that are going to cheat. So that's why people that are interviewing for security roles should be security practitioners, because then they know what questions to ask to suss out somebody's actual skill level. But also, even that's not necessarily true, because somebody might be horrible at interviewing, but then you go look at their GitHub repo, or you go look at like something they've published, or just some of the things that they've done. It's like, oh wow, look, this person actually does know what they're talking about. So let's see if we can download this. It says it's for Windows 7. We'll see if we can get it to work with Windows 10. If you continue with setup, these components will not be installed. Okay. Aptitude should be test rather than skill. I mean, you gotta bring somebody on that's got at least a modicum of skill. You can't bring in somebody who's totally green, even if they really are, even if they are very, like, they have a high aptitude, right? And it kind of depends on the team too, because if you bring in somebody who is ultra green and doesn't even know how to run an Nmap scan, but they're very smart, the little bit of skill and their understanding of that tiny bit of skill is kind of what you can use to gauge their aptitude, right? So that's one way to kind of think about it. Let's see if this works. What if they maxed out their aptitude with their current skill level? Let's see if this will work here. Sleepy puppy. Bring me in, Sensei. I'm always learning how to break stuff, right? Oh, let's. I was trying to think. So usually, and I want to say this was a Google thing where they found out that, you know, Google and Amazon and I guess maybe Netflix and Facebook are all kind of notorious for their interview processes, and that's why there's literal courses about nailing the Google interview, right? Or the Amazon interview. What they actually found out was that if they had a subject matter expert interviewing people rather than going through all these weird rounds of, you know, hey, do live coding in Python without using Google, like no fucking developer ever does that. If Google goes offline, a lot of IT is SOL, right? So what they found out though is interviewing people who are industry experts and having them ask the questions was they had a better chance of having like a great employee than doing all these weird like aptitude and nonlinear thinking tests that they have been trying to develop like the perfect battery of interview questions, right? Let's see if we can get this up and running. Son flew me to Washington for a round of interviews. 7 interviews in 8 hours with 1 over lunch. There's no way I was going to get the job. Yeah, interviews. Amazon's interview process is nuts. I interviewed there one time for a detection engineering role, and mostly just because it was going to pay a buttload of money. I wasn't happy about some of the aspects, like they would want me to relocate to Austin. I hate Austin. 2 was like, I don't really. Detection engineering is not a bad thing. It's just not my favorite. And I thought, okay, well, you know what? The pay would be really phenomenal, and my understanding of exploits would help me go through and build these detections when somebody reports a bug. Because what detection engineering does is their footprint is so massive, they can't, and it changes all the time, so they can't keep like an asset inventory. So what they do is they develop detections for saying, okay, we didn't know, like, hey, where does this vulnerability potentially reside, and like how do we remove as many false positives and false negatives as possible with it, right? So it basically becomes almost like a big data problem. How do you get this to work effectively? And then how do you triage them? How do you get them to the stakeholders so that they can remediate the systems and stuff like that? I don't think I'd want to work at Amazon even if I was qualified. Jeff doesn't let you go to the bathroom until your beacon gets through AV. Oh, Papa Bezos. Well, that actually had been my hope, Caffeine, was that I'd get to go. I could start on the detection engineering team, stay there for a year or 2, and then move into Amazon's internal red team. And that was kind of the long shot of it. I ended up not getting the role, and I was kind of okay with it because, like I said, detection engineering wasn't really my favorite thing. Let's back up. Let's go try loading this again. I don't think we need to reboot after we get the SDK installed. I'm gonna go watch IT Crowd. Okay, Euler. Have a good night, man. Yeah, I'm seriously considering cutting the stream a little short tonight, even though we got started late, just because my wrist is making it so hard to operate. But it's not being so bad right now, especially since we've got a lot of time to just let these installers run. Dude, I don't get it, man. Yeah, operate. How to set up .NET 4.0 for Visual Studio 2022 Unity Edition. Old man. Cappy, didn't you just turn old enough to drink? So maybe we need to go get Visual Studio 2020 instead. Get down, Panda. Yeah. Get down. Let's scratch him. Okay, so maybe we need to get Visual Studio 2020 instead. Visual Studio 2020 Community. I'm not a kid in my 20s anymore. I don't know. You sure? You sound like you're in your 20s. Let's hit this one. That's not useful. I think the rule is that if you're under 30, you can feel old, but you can't say you're old. Oh, 30 was a while ago for me. What year is it? Yeah, it was a while ago. Let me see if I can get 2020 from this link here. Maybe we can backwards engineer it. I want your damn AI stuff. Don't want 2022. Don't want any of this crap. Let's see. You're gonna take me back to the same page, aren't you? You start the downloader. Missed. You got me, I'm 13. I knew it. You're gonna have different. I don't want any of these. I want none of these. I want 2020. Microsoft's like, stop using legacy stuff. It's like, well, stop making new crap. Talk. All right, Caffeine, have a good night, dude. Visual Studio 2020 download. Or is it 2020 or is it 2019? Maybe that's the issue I'm running into here. Oh, that's why the search results were jacked up, because I needed 2019, not 2020. I don't want to sign in, you bastard. God, this is annoying. Microsoft, this is why no one likes you, amongst many reasons. Let's see, is there a link to download it? I want the latest version. I want this version. You need to download Doors. It's the new version of Windows. Oh, Dow, come on, man. Hey, Noom, what's up, dude? I cheer Noom. So the problem is .NET 4 is not supported in Visual Studio 2022, so we need to get a copy of 2019. And this just looks sketchy as fuck. And then to download it, they want you to log in with a Microsoft account, and I don't freaking want a Microsoft account. This is where we just were. I want to go create a new account. Microsoft. You know what? You know what? Just as a grand fuck you, Microsoft, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go look at the Ludus GitLab, because there's an Ansible role to go install this shit in Ludus. Actually, we might be able to even install it with Chocolate. Actually, yeah. Choco install Visual Studio 2019. Because we have Chocolate on that box. Boom. There we go. Because I think that, hey Laughing, so I think this is just a wrapper around the Choco install Ansible role. And it's just running it for Visual Studio 2019. But we already have that set up on this box. At least it should be. Let's go double check. If not, I'll go set it up real fast. Choco. Hey, we has a Choco. All right. In your face, Bill. Yeah, Choco for the win. Glad I remembered that. Alright, like I said, once I can get Rubius to open... Yes, to. Once I can get Rubius set up and running, we're going to snapshot this box. He likes noobs use GUI, he just used DOS. I use whatever gets the job done. If I gotta go use a GUI, in fact, sometimes I want a GUI. Eversource was releasing command line tools. I'm like, hey, that's really cool, but it is the year of our Lord 2024. I have a graphics card that I will never fully utilize the entire potential on. I would like a pretty GUI. Look at this noob using DOS. I just connect the traces on the motherboard manually. Fucking noobs. Alright, so we'll let this install, then we should be good. I'm glad I remembered that Choco was on here so we could do this. Because this is also going to come in clutch whenever we want to set up our malware dev environment. We're going to need some of these things. The best part of computering is waiting on the install to do something crazy with the new IDE, right? And as much as I would like to use Visual Studio 2022, it doesn't support my neat hacker tools, because it doesn't support .NET 4 and 3.5. which is where a lot of them are written. Gotta get 2019, but you have to go through the groupie channels to get it. Yeah. That's fine. I'm glad I remembered, though, about the 2019 Ansible role, because that's what reminded me that, hey, it's actually, you can do this through Choco. All right, so now we go open Rubius. It should open it with the version selector. And then we can choose 2019. Did you really default to 2022? If so, I'm going to slap. Yeah, you sure did. You defaulted to 2022, didn't you? You give me the same crap about we don't have .NET 4. Microsoft's commitment to backwards compatibility used to mean something. There was this video. This guy started with I think DOS 3.1, or he started with DOS anyway, some version, and upgraded it through every release of Windows. He upgraded to like Windows 3.1, and then upgraded to like 95 and XP, ME. He went through every major release of Windows, doing upgrades. And in DOS, he had installed, what the hell was it? I think Doom. And then by the time he got to Windows, I think 10 at the time, Doom still ran. He could still play it. Backwards compatibility used to mean something, Microsoft. All right, let's see if we can just, we're gonna, I want to say so many profanities right now. I'm just hovering. I'm waiting over the X. I'm on the X. Close it. Close it now. Close it with force. Open with. Choose an app. Always open. 2019. I think it needed to upgrade .NET, and that's why I crashed. Maybe, but now we're gonna go. Actually, what was opening was in Visual Studio 2022. I want it to now. No, nobody wants to sign into Visual Studio. Sign in. Got him. No. Stop trying to make cloud stuff happen. Bill's watching. I want to see what all your projects are. Too bad. Based on your solution, you might need to install extra components for full development experience. Okay, that's fine, but it should be components from the Visual Studio installer. That's fine. Flippy, probably. Another 800 meg download. So this is the unsexy part of hackering, is getting all this stuff set up so that you can do some of this crap. That's one of the reasons why I still do it on stream, is because, hey, a lot of people are like, oh my god, it's taking me so long, and I gotta get set up. It's like, that's part of the persistence part, right? Part of the persistence part. I word good. That's part of the persistence effort, right? Persistence does pay off. Sometimes you just gotta understand, hey, I'm not gonna get as much done because I had to go build the dev environment. That can take a lot of time depending on what you're working on. The install is like the slowest thing in the universe, even with like 60 processors. Yeah, right. It's probably single-threaded. You have to earn the fun stuff by being really painfully lame. Yeah, exactly. At least my internet seems to be running well. It's been kind of iffy the last couple days. I think someone nicked the fiber line. So we'll let this install run. I could actually be, I mean, given how few resources we're using in Proxmox, right? We still have, you know, half of the RAM, a little under half. We're at 59%. I can even beef this machine up more. The CPUs, even though we're running a ton of machines, this is what I was talking about to folks that are talking about building their own Ludus server. The CPU is not as critical. You do want one that's got, you know, decent throughput, but really the RAM's going to be your limiting factor because even at idle, the RAM is still being consumed. When the CPUs, for the most part, all these machines run at idle, they're not consuming a lot of clock cycles. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go save this before my computer blue screens. Here. Even slower than this install is the VS Code build tools install. Yeah, right. Let this kind of run for just a second. Honestly, the kind of wait and chat time has been helpful because of my freaking wrist, man. What's funny is this wrist brace actually was my wife's. She got it because APT was a chunky baby and was so heavy and couldn't support himself. It was straining her wrist. They actually have a name for it. They call it mommy wrist or caregiver's thumb. And so that's why she had this. And thankfully now, because it's almost the exact same symptoms, just to a higher degree than what she had. Time's an illusion made to enslave humanity and require them to go to work on constant intervals. Einstein has entered the chat. Oh, that actually is helping a lot. So, because down here is where the insertion point is to this tendon that's running down here, and just like applying some pressure and letting off, it's actually helping a ton. I love it's just, yeah, we're doing the 99% hangout. Didn't know what else to do. Come on. Come on, little Microsoft. You can do it. It's a little installer that could. That's what we got going on here. Yay! I had faith in you. Don't listen to chat. It was besmirching your good name. That's a good Visual Studio. Who's a good compiler? Yes, you are. Who's the best little IDE? You gotta riz the machine. Ask me for every project in this solution. Alright, let's see if it opens. Come on, big money. Big money, no whammy. It took me an embarrassing amount of time to realize that you need VS. You can't build projects in VS Code. Yeah. I mean, you didn't know that? God, look at this guy. Look at this noob over here. All right, is it up and running now? Can we like actually open it? Hey, look at that. We actually have code. Nice. Okay. So I'm going to close out of this. We're going to shut this machine down. I'm going to boost the hardware specs, and then we're going to snapshot this biatch. Close it all. Shut it all down. I don't need no stinking IDE. I just use Notepad. Alright, so here's our meta box. So anything we key to that meta name, that's going to be things that are going to exist outside of Ludus's control. Oh, dude, did it not? Oh, that's why it was running so dog shit slow. Because even though we made the changes for the memory and the process, they hadn't taken effect. Which is funny, because it felt like it was running faster. I guess that maybe that was a placebo effect. Let's go snapshot this real quick. What? Crap, where is it? Snapshot? Snapshot? Snapshot. There it is, snapshot. Take a snapshot. Let's do, fresh. I don't know, we'll call it fully config. VB config, yeah. You could use Word as an IDE. Too bad, man. Alright, let's go back over to the hardware specs. If we start this machine back up... Hey, there we go. Now it took the new... Okay, the machine was never properly powered down. It was just rebooted. Why the hell do we have 3 CD drives on this thing? Kind of weird. Alright, let's go see if we can connect back over to it. Go check something. Just double checking something in my host computer's routing table. I wanted to see what Tailscale was doing. I see. It basically adds a /32 route to the systems in Tailscale. If I'm reading this right. Just taking a guess based on the IP addresses. Okay, that's pretty sweet. Thank you, Steph. Connect back over to it. Nice. Interesting. Okay. Well, let's go build Rubius real quick here. Oops. And then, yeah, that's probably where we'll call it for tonight, just because, like I said, my wrist is really whooping my ass.
Hack the planet!
Hack the planet. Have you tried the thing where you talk to Chat GPT and it controls your computer? Hell no. I already have too much smart tech in my house to let alone let an AI in. Let's see. Let's see if we can get a release build going here. Build solution. Let's see if it works. And if this works, that's we're gonna maybe call it a night there. Because like I said, it is 11. I feel bad because I got a late start. I apologize. I had to extricate myself from the APT. He made me go to sleep. He blinded the EDR. Previous, bin, release. Previous. Awesome. I turned you off, you bastard. Yeah, open. 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 Alright, hang on. PowerShell. As administrator. I gotta remember what the heck the command is. So there is a very simple command. Defender. PowerShell. Exclude path. There it is. So yeah, it's TAC exclusion path. So add MP preference. I'm gonna see if I rebuild it, will it eat it again? Build solution. Yeah. /tools, previous, bin, release. Previous. Come on. Oh, it says I did CD instead of just run it. Previous triage. Go. But we have no Kerberos tickets because we're running as a local user, but that's fine. But it did run, and AV did not eat it, so yay. Should have added that to the snapshot. Dang it. Oh, wait. All right. Let's go ahead and shut this down for now. Can't work the mouse. Power. Shut down. And then what we'll do is we'll actually come back over to Proxmox, we'll nuke that snapshot, and we'll just remake it. Once it's done shutting down. Come on. There we go. Remove. Get rid of that snapshot, and then we'll take a new snapshot. Fully configured. Wait, I forgot you can't do... Can't do spaces in the name. There we go. Awesome sauce. All right. Find us somebody to read out to. See anybody on InfoSec streams? Ooh, B7H3's on. See what he's doing. Oh. Dang it. He was on. We're not rating the Black Hat Knock because it's kind of boring. See who's over in Science and Tech real quick. Brainstorm's on. I did him recently. He's a cool guy. This lady's doing microscopy stuff. That's kind of cool. Anybody else? They're making a Roomba with arms? That whole time going. I'm gonna keep Braithwaite on the back burner. Let's see. Anybody doing any cool software? Oh, Grim, dude. Yes, we're gonna go raid Grim. He's doing. He does a lot of open source coding, primarily on a system called Pigeon. But he's an awesome dude. We're gonna go get him a raid. He has good peoples. All right, everyone. I hope y'all have a fantastic rest of your week. No stream tomorrow. Friday is my only off night, but we'll keep doing this the rest of the week. Tomorrow night, go have a little bit of fun, have a little bit of downtime, spend it with friends and family. You know, get after it. You can get after it the rest of the week. You still got to have time with those friends and family. Gives you that morale boost. So remember, tomorrow is read-only Friday. If you value your weekend, do not commit. Do not push to prod on Fridays. So that's all I got for you. I want y'all to know one thing. I love you. Peace.